What is up, YouTube? It is Marco, and as I said, I am back to read another Diaryganronpa Kid fanfiction. This one is called Diaryganronpa, something like that. The user who posted this, his name is u/Stevert9, I think. I'll put it in the description for y'all to see. Anyway, we are reading up to page 199 to 100 today because it is a huge book. Excuse me. I feel like I've missed a couple pages in this, but I don't know. I could be wrong, could be right. It was hard finding all the material to put this together. Anyways, hope you enjoy. Let's get something straight. This is not a diary. It's not a journal either. I'm not really sure what you'd call this thing, but that doesn't matter. I need some way to record what's been going on these past few days at Crossland High School. After what seemed like forever, I finally graduated middle school. Roderick had told me tons of stories about high school, and I was honestly kind of excited. I hadn't been the most popular in middle school, but maybe now that would finally change. I had no idea how wrong I was. Tuesday. As I regained consciousness, I was greeted with the uncomfortable sensation of my head on a table. I opened my eyes and I looked around. I was in a classroom. It was a normal classroom, except I was the only one in it. I had never seen it before in my life, but I had a feeling I was at Crossland High School. That was the last thing I remembered, standing outside the school. I was just about to open the doors and start my high school career when suddenly I got a really bad headache. After that, I passed out, and I guess I woke up here. Standing around in the gym were a bunch of other people, and I recognized them too right away. I saw Rowley. I glanced around the room and I saw others. Albert, Holly, Shirag. Greg Heffley's here with you. We're 16 people in all. Do you think he's the last one? I started to ask what was going on, but I was interrupted. Let me guess, you woke up in an empty classroom with a note from somebody named Alfredo? The same thing happened to all of us. Patty said that nobody else knew why they were here either, but it sounded like everyone else was starting their first day at Crossland High School. That made sense, since we had all graduated 8th grade last summer. Our conversation was interrupted by what sounded like a metal door opening. We all turned towards the sound and watched in amazement as something happened on the stage in the corner of the room. Boing! Something launched up from behind the table. It was a doll, and based on how worn out it looked, it had to be 100 years old. Suddenly, something incredible happened. Welcome to Crossland High School. I am Alfredo, your principal. That doll just moved and talked. I am not a doll. I told you, I'm Alfredo. We've wasted enough time. It's time to start your orientation. My mind was racing 1,000 miles an hour. What the heck was this thing? He had to be just a remote control or something, but in the way he moved was so lifelike and seemed to be able to respond to people's questions. Was there somebody controlling him, or was he some super advanced AI? As high schoolers, the 16 of you are brimming with potential. One could even say you are the hope for the future, which is why you will all be living a communal life here for the foreseeable future. We all froze in shock. A communal life? So we would have to live inside the school? It seemed like everyone else felt the same way. So you're telling me we're trapped in the school? Hey now, don't go putting words in my mouth, and don't put food in my mouth either, because like I said, I'm not a doll. There's only one way to leave the school, and one way only. You must kill another student. What? We all stood in silence for a few seconds, letting Alfredo's words sink in. To escape, I needed to kill someone else? The first one to act was somebody, and it took me a second to recognize. It was Latricia Hooks. I've heard enough of this. It's time for you to shut up. With incredible speed, she leapt onto the stage, grabbed Alfredo, and POW! Latricia stood there holding Alfredo, whose head had been punched clean off, but then suddenly something happened to his body. A beeping noise began emitting from Alfredo's body, and it was getting faster. Chuck it, huh? Beep, beep. Throw the doll! I wasn't expecting Latricia to take orders from someone half her size, but thankfully she listened, just in the nick of time, too. Pow! I stumbled backwards as Alfredo exploded. My ears were ringing. If Latricia hadn't thrown him in time, well, I didn't want to think about it. We stood around for a moment, unsure of what to do, but the silence didn't last long. Not so fast. So many things had shocked me today. But now, I just felt confused. We watched as the new Alfredo launched out from behind the desk and landed on the stage. But you blew up. You thought that was the only copy of me. I have spares. Tons and tons of spares. You could blow me up 100 times. It wouldn't even make a dent in my supply. How many are we talking exactly? How many slices of bread have you eaten in your life? As for Miss Hooks, harming the principal in any way is against school regulations. Consider this and your first and only punishment. Your first and only warning. Next time punishment will be in order. What kind of punishment? The same punishment for breaking any of the rules. Execution. We all gasped collectively. Normally I would have said this was some twisted prank or a very unorthodox method of orientation, but based on what we had seen today, this seemed all too real. Speaking of rules, down the halls are your rooms. Inside you will find your student handbooks, which contain all of the school regulations. As soon as he finished speaking, Alfredo jumped behind the desk again and vanished. We all stood in the gym in shock until I said what we were all thinking. So, what do we do now? I mean, this has to be bullshit, right? That's right. I saw a prank show just like this once. This isn't a prank. Look around. There are security cameras all over the place, and the windows are covered in metal plates. Besides, none of us remember signing up for this kind of reality show, right? Well, no. Until we get more information, we need to assume that this is real. As much as I hated agreeing with Patty, or the doll, what she said made sense. We all decided to head back to our rooms, then split up into groups and search the school. Since we all know each other from middle school, the groups formed pretty naturally. Bailey and Holly wanted to go with Bryce, so the three of them went off in one direction. Fregley and Ruby formed one group, and Chirag and Emilio tagged along. Patty and Abigail left together, while Speed Bump and Latricia went in the other direction. Angie, Alex, and Albert went off by themselves, so that left me and Greg! I guess Riley's a pretty good person to team up with. At least, I can count on him to not start murdering people or anything. We started looking for our rooms. Luckily, it didn't take long. We headed down the hall to see a few others already there, standing outside of a row of doors. That's weird. What is it? The nameplates on the doors have our names. These rooms were specifically designed for us. These rooms were designed especially for us. Chirag was right. That was odd, but I didn't have time to focus on that. I kept looking until I found a door with my name on it between Chirag and Holly. Riley and I decided to each check out our rooms, and then meet outside when we were done. I walked inside to find a perfectly normal room. To be honest, it was fancier than I was expecting. There was a double bed that looked pretty comfortable, a pretty big bathroom, and drawers that were filled with my clothes. For whatever reason, out of all the crazy things we had heard today, that shocked me. For somebody to have brought my clothes here, they would have had to get into my house. But everything was fine when I left this morning, and that was only an hour ago. I kept searching. There was no point in dwelling on that now. I could always bring it up with the others later. Ruby Bird had said there was a dining hall in school, and so we all agreed to meet there at 9 when we were done looking around. On my bed was a tablet, and I realized was our student handbook. As soon as I turned it on, my name flashed on the screen, followed by a message. Hello, this is your first time using this device. Please familiarize yourself with the school regulations. I flipped through the rules, keeping track of them as I went. Number 1. Students are to live in Crossland High School for the rest of their natural lives or until the killing high school life is ended. Under no other circumstances may a student leave the school. 2. No student may harm the principal in any way or destroy the security cameras located around the school. 3. The principal cannot directly harm any student unless they violate the rules or are found guilty. 4. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore the Crossland High School to your discretion. The principal cannot enter a student's room when they are not inside. Anyone who kills another student and gets away with it will be permitted to leave the school, and the killing school life will end. The principal may add additional rules at any time. Needless to say, these rules didn't make things any less confusing. What was the killing school life, and why did it end as soon as one person left the school? The rules were clear about one thing, though. Unless I killed somebody, I would be living here forever. On that happy note, I kept looking around my room. There was one thing of interest on the desk. It was a typed document on a sheet of paper. Alfredo's housekeeping rules. Nighttime is from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Certain areas will be off limits during this time, so proceed with caution. The water will also be shut off at nighttime. There is a garbage room on the first floor. One person will be assigned garbage duty each week on a rotating schedule, and only they will have access to the room. Student rooms are completely soundproof. Your handbooks allow you to get access the bathroom in the hallway, the garbage room, and other areas in the school. You may not enter a room that your handbook prevents you from entering by either using another student's handbook or having somebody else hold the door for you. There is a key to each student's room located on your desk if you lose yours. Please contact Alfredo. Included in your room is a toolkit with some very sharp appliances, as well as a map of the body's vital organs. Feel free to use your imaginations, folks. These rules were a little more normal, at least until the last one. I didn't bother looking for the toolkit. Hold on, I'm moving my phone. Give me a sec. Alright. I didn't bother looking for the toolkit, but I did grab the key and left the room looking for the door on my way out. Rowley was already waiting for me. So, where to next? We wandered around the school for a while, checking out the various rooms. There was a laundry room, a couple of classrooms, and a locked door. That I guess must have been the garbage room. After a while, it was getting close to 9, so we headed down to the dining hall and waited for the others to amble in. At 9, everyone was there except for Albert, who waltzed in a few minutes later. Finally, we started discussing what we had found. So this doesn't seem like any ordinary school. No shit, Sherlock. Definitely not. I mean, my sister goes to Crossland, and it definitely doesn't have dorm rooms or a laundry room. The banner in the gym says Crossland, though. Yeah, because they're lying to us. This definitely isn't Crossland High School. Whoever's controlling Alfredo probably abducted us and brought us here. Forget about that. Did anyone find a way out? Well, shit. These rules are very weird, though. I mean, what's the killing school life? There's something else I found odd. Look at the rules, 3 and 5. The ones about Alfredo not attacking us or breaking into our rooms, right? Right, but if these rules are written by Alfredo, why would he create restrictions for himself? That was a good point. And we all took a second to think about it. The most likely reason was that these rules were written by someone besides Alfredo. But how was that possible? Whatever the case, our next course of action is clear. We do nothing. What? No, he's right. I mean, this place is impossible to escape, and we have all our basic needs taken care of. I saw Alfredo in the kitchen back there, and he said the food is restocked every day. You saw Alfredo? Yeah, but that's not the point. And that is where I stop reading, because this is a long book, and I am generally not used to reading out loud. But I hope you all enjoyed. I will upload the rest. I will upload more pages in the nearby future. So, like, comment, subscribe. You don't have to. Do what you want around here. This ain't, I'm not fishing for subscribers. But anyways, hope you all have a good day, night, evening, morning, whichever time you're seeing this. And I'll see you all later.